quiet. I'm at the waterfront, and I'm just kind of reflecting on the season that we've had this year, and the 2023-2024 Vancouver Canucks season is over. It's May 20th, 2024. They just lost in Game 7 to the Edmonton Oilers. It was a passive game for the most part for the Canucks, and a lot of people will look and say things like, Edmonton really showed who they are, and Vancouver showed who they are. But truthfully, I think from sort of a outside looking in perspective, I think that Vancouver just got tired. I think that I don't want to say they stopped playing, but they kind of gave Edmonton all of their opportunities and kind of just decided they were done. And I think that happens sometimes in hockey. I think that's a real thing. I think a lot of analysts would agree that technically Vancouver was the deeper team. I think that if Edmonton had, injuries that were unsustainable, for example, Draisaitl appeared to be injured, but he stuck through and he was able to play. So he might have been injured, but I don't know if he was that injured that he couldn't play. He's played through a lot of injuries in his past, so he's definitely a strong player. I mean, McDavid is a strong player, obviously, and congratulations to the Edmonton Oilers. It's funny because it's hard for me to look at it without being biased. Like, I'm a Canucks fan, and it sucks watching your team lose. Now I think to myself, okay, now I've got the summer to figure out what's going to happen now. We think about the offseason. Vancouver doesn't have very many draft picks. It's going to be an interesting summer, to say the least, because they've got players. They've got a ton of UFAs this year. They've got 2 RFAs, one of which they're going to re-sign. That's Artur Silovs. Artur Silovs is going to be their backup goalie this year. I mean, with the way that guy played, I think that there's no question he's going to be their backup goalie. But then you look at all of the UFAs that they have. The other RFA they have, by the way, is Hronik. And you got to think that they're probably going to trade him. If he's saying things like, I want $8 million a year, that's not going to happen with Vancouver, because you did not perform to that level, even close to that level in this playoffs. You got a goal in Game 7, which is great, but don't turn it on in Game 7. Turn it on in Game 1 of Round 1. And be a difference maker, because that's what $8 million will get you. The Canucks are going to have some very difficult decisions to make this offseason, with a lot of the UFAs, Dakota Joshua, Zadorov, so a lot of their depth, a lot of their depth players, guys who are kind of bottom line players, bottom 6 players. So there's going to be some decisions to make as to who to let go and who not to let go. They have a player in Ilya Mikheyev who's making $4.9 million, I think, and he's got another year left on his contract. So if he doesn't have just an amazing offseason, I say they look at getting rid of him. It's going to be a difficult thing to do. I don't think they should buy him out, personally, because, I mean, with the contract of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, it doesn't make a lot of sense to make that move. So buying him out is not going to be an option. They're going to have to trade that contract and look at other ways. If they can trade it, in the offseason, great. I don't know a lot of teams that are going to be willing to take that contract unless they give up something to go with it, something like Hoglander or or a top prospect or something like that. So it doesn't look like that's something that's going to be possible. But now we look at what next. Who do we root for? Who do we root for now that the Canucks are out? I'll tell you one thing. Personally, I cannot root for Edmonton, being that they're a team that I've disliked my entire life. And I apologize if you're watching this as an Oiler fan, but I can't root for Edmonton. I'm sorry. I don't believe that Edmonton has what it takes to beat a team like Dallas. To be fair, I don't know if Vancouver had what it takes to beat Dallas either. Dallas is going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. But, you had your struggles against Vancouver. It took you 7 games to beat us. It's probably going to take you 7 games to beat Dallas, unless Dallas takes care of you sooner than that. So, and I'm sure Oiler fans are aware of this, but from what they were talking about with Edmonton at the beginning of the year, that Edmonton was a cup or bust team, I don't think they have what it takes. I don't think they have more than 2, at best, lines when you think about the amount of scoring that they actually have. They've got a great defenseman in Bouchard. They've got, McDavid and Draisaitl. But that is the extent of it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've got something in the tank that they just didn't bring out with Vancouver, but it's going to be one difficult series to beat Dallas. And I'm excited to watch that series. It's going to be fun. It sucks that Vancouver's out, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's how hockey works. That's how sports works. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Vancouver has never won a Stanley Cup in their existence. They won the Stanley Cup when they were the Vancouver Millionaires of the WHA, I think. I can't remember if that was it or what the league was, but that does not count because they were the Vancouver Millionaires, not the Vancouver Canucks. So we got to keep that in mind, Canucks fans. It's going to be a difficult offseason, thinking about what could have happened, what should have happened. But hey, that's sports. I want to finish this off by saying I wish Brock Besser all the best. I hope that this blood clot thing is literally nothing, and he comes out of this perfectly fine for next season. And I hope he scores another 40 goals next year at least. I'm sorry to say this, Canuck fans, but the season's over. Try to enjoy your summer. Try to enjoy all the off-season stuff. I'm personally going to be rooting for Florida to win the Stanley Cup. I just think they're going to show us something this year. I think the series with the Rangers is going to be a fun one. So I'm gonna enjoy that. I am going to watch Edmonton and Dallas. I kept saying that I'm not going to watch it because I'm bitter about Edmonton beating us, but in the end, I love hockey. I'm going to watch. Hopefully you do too, because it's excellent hockey, and it's exciting. So here's to next season. Here's to an incredible season this year. It can only go up from here. So let's get pumped for next season, and let's hope they're a better team next year and they can go the distance. Go Canucks, go.